Alright, so we're going to go over this LG wash machine, dryer, and the associated vent work with the dryer. But first I'll go through some of the specs here on this LG washing machine. Alright, so if we look over the front panel here, it's an inverter direct drive. I'm not sure exactly what that means. It's HE, 6-motion, Energy Star. It also has what they call the smart diagnosis. With your smartphone, you should be able to figure out when this thing has a fault. You have your settings here, and then you have your play and your pause button, which is kind of your start button. This would be the screen for all your different wash cycles and kind of how it's set. And then it's also a True Balance anti-vibration system. Again, I'm not sure what that means. So this machine replaces a 11-year-old Kenmore that was a front load. And the Kenmore, the final reason we decided to upgrade here to the LG was we had just started a load of laundry, the tub had filled, and water was all over the floor. And after the fact I found out that the line on the pump had sprung a leak, and so it was, as fast as it was filling, it was just coming out the bottom. That could have been fixed, but the top of the machine also had started to rust out, and it wouldn't always start. You'd have to start the machine probably 5-6 times before it would actually lock the door and start. So we just decided, instead of sticking any money into that machine, we would just go ahead and purchase this one. So the only reason we went with this machine is to fit it into the actual space we have. So this is an older house, so the space is limited. So you can tell they are crammed in here. So that's why we went with this machine. I was just basing it on dimensions. So if we start it up, we got the power button here. It goes through its little chime. And then if you just want to do a default, which would be like your normal setting, the only thing you have to do is press play. I'm going to show you the inside here though first. So on the inside, don't worry, there's nothing in here. There's no unmentionables. My wife said I couldn't do that, so the stuff in here is only mentionables. Anyway, this is where the bleach would go if you use bleach. And then down in here you have a pull-out tray for your softener, and then liquid detergent, and if you want to use powder you have to take out the blue tray. So, and it's got a quiet closed glass door, which is kind of cool. So it doesn't slam. So that's cool. So we'll start it up and take a look at it here. So the default is always like 62 minutes for time. And you can kind of see some of the other, it says wash, rinse, spin. It's a warm, high for temp and spin. The soil level is normal. So from what I understand, I think the thing kind of figures out what type of load you have in by spinning it. It must be based on the amount of resistance or weight or something, and then it will begin to fill. So the water comes out through that soap dispenser, and it's kind of like a waterfall, which is kind of cool. Also, when it goes through its rinse cycle, this blue right here, this blue spout will shoot water out as well when it's rinsing. Eventually here, I think this cover is going to steam up once it switches over to the hot water. So, and after it spins too, now we're down to 37 minutes, and like I said, I think that has something to do with, based on when it spins it, it kind of figures out how heavy the load is or how much of a load is in there, and then that is what kind of sets the amount of time for the washing machine. Alright, so this is the actual wash cycle. So after it does its spinning like it just did, and it's done filling, it just does this. And that's the actual wash cycle. Now you can kind of see how much water is in there. There is on the settings here, it's called Tub Clean. I have used that Tub Clean. If you run it through that cycle, it fills up almost right to the top. I've never seen a drum that full of water. It takes forever, and it fills it all the way up, and it basically does this, where it just kind of oscillates back and forth like that, and then that's it. It does a rinse, and that's supposed to keep the tub clean, I guess. So it says it's going through the rinse. It's actually draining out the tub now. That's the pump running. Now it's going through the rinse cycle, and it does a lot of spinning during this time. Alright, so we are in the final phase here, the spin cycle with 4 minutes left. Alright, this thing's really starting to spool up now. There is one thing to note about this machine. It's not very quiet. When it's going through its rinse cycle, it's pretty noisy. So, and I bought this machine at Lowe's. I believe I paid $6.29, and I may have gotten a military discount on top of that. I know the dryer I paid $5.97 for, but apparently Lowe's had goofed up somehow and they double stacked a sale price with a military discount, which I guess they're not supposed to do, but I ordered it online and that's what it came up as a price. I didn't even put anything in, that's just what it gave me. So, but I got this on sale for $6.29, this washing machine. Now we're in the final 2 minutes here where it's gonna just absolutely go to town. So that's moving pretty good. The last 2 minutes it's running this full speed right to the end. I know when we pull the stuff out it's definitely dry. Like there's not much water left in it. You don't end up with a towel that you can wring out and there's still water in it. It spins everything out quite nicely. And this is the last minute here now. We're running wide open. And we're coming down. Once it's finished, it's going to play a little tune to let you know that it's all done. The noise too from the vibration is because it's in these cabinets and against the dryer as tight as it is, rubs on everything. The noise you hear now is actually the pump again, trying to extract any water that might still be left. Alright, so the dryer's an LG as well. The model number is D as in Delta, L, E as in Egg, 7100 W Whiskey, which is a electric dryer. It's sensor dry, again, must be a sensor I'm assuming, HE. And same type of panel. This is like the corresponding dryer, so it's like a matching set. If we come down to the front, so it's got a pretty big drum. You can fit quite a bit of stuff in there. It has a lint screen here that you pull out, and when you pull it out then there's like this flipper that closes. I am not sure why that's in there, but our last one didn't have that. It was just the lint screen that went in. So it's pretty basic. There's no light or anything inside this drum. Oh, one other thing to note, you can reverse the door. You can put it on the other side, or move it to this side I should say, if for some reason you wanted to have a left hand swing instead of a right. And then to run the dryer, you're going to press power. Does the same little tune. Now for default you can just go ahead and press this, and when you do that you'll see this energy saver button lights up. When that comes on, don't expect your clothes to dry. Not after one cycle, 2 or 3. It like puts zero heat into the actual dryer system, and you'll see here it says cool. It just doesn't do anything, and it took me a little bit to figure out why this brand new dryer was not drying our clothes, because I figured I could just do the start here, but that does not do it. So in order to do an actual normal, click it back into normal here, and then go over to this and tap it. Now it's using heat. It's putting a lot of heat in there, and after one dryer cycle it'll be dry. And I've had this drum pretty full. I filled this dryer up right to the brim and ran it like that, and stuff was nice, dry, and crisp. Whereas, like I said, with that energy saver, this, oops, let me just turn that on. Yeah, see, it won't let you turn it on now. You have to go back out. If that's on, it just will not dry. So let's go through that one more time just so you know how to do that. We'll turn it off. So if you first do it, you can't do anything because it's not lit up. So what you do is, and you can see all your different settings are on. Back it up, it'll say normal. The normal's lit up. This is lit up over here. Turn that off. Press your play button. There you go. Alright, and this is by far the best part of the setup. So this is for the dryer vent. What I had was just a normal flipper vent, and the problem with that is the lint actually gets lodged behind where the flipper is, and then the flipper doesn't close. So there's not enough weight from that plastic flipper, so it stays open and your floor gets cold in front of your dryer, like ton of cold air. This uses a different setup where there's actually a ball inside there that goes up and down, and that when the air's not pushing the ball up, it falls back into place and it seals it. So it shows some information here. It's for standard 4-inch. Keeps out unwanted elements, keeps out the hot and cold air. It's made in USA. I think the model number is 289W, and it's a Lambro, it's the brand name. I don't recall where I got this from. I know I ordered it. It either was like Home Depot or Lowe's. I think it was right around $20. So we'll take a look at it because this thing is absolutely amazing. I am absolutely in love with this. Alright, so here it is. So like I said, it's not really a ball. I guess it's kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it, kind of like a plug that floats up and down in there. So the pipe work comes out the bottom, and that pushes that ball up, and then all the venting comes out the bottom here. So then once that dryer turns off, it falls back down to seal this. There is a lid here that you can open up to clean out the lint and stuff that's up in there. You can kind of hear the siding cracking and creaking too, because it's not just venting it down, it kind of just vents it out all over because this is open all the way around here. So I'll pop that top off and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so I got it opened up here. You can see it. So this is what it is. It's just basically a little plug or cap or whatever, and that sits down in top there. And you just run your vent work into this, and then when it's, like I said, when it's done, it just falls back down there, and it's just the pressure from the dryer that holds that into place. So I think it's absolutely great. The only thing I wish it had was either in brown or tan. I guess you could paint it. I've only seen it in white. So, but other than that, this is an absolute remarkable item. Alright, so we're going to wrap this up. I would highly recommend this dryer vent, especially if you have a cold laundry room or a cold floor. Definitely worth the investment. So that's going to be it for now.